Hi there, Stamping friends. Today I'd like to show you how to watercolor the Flower Garden embossing folder from Stampin' Up. I've had several requests asking me how I did this technique, and I'd like to show you how to do that. This is a set that I made using this technique with the in colors. Okay, so to begin with, this is the embossing folder from Stampin' Up. And this is, I've embossed it on watercolor paper. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to start with primrose petals and reinker, the reinker bottle. I'm just going to put a drop in the lid. The aqua painters come in two different sizes. You have a large tip and a smaller tip. And I actually like the smaller tip for this technique. I have it filled with water. I'm going to take my aqua painter and I'm going to pick up that reinker, and I'm just going to use the edge of my brush and go along that outline, just with the edge of the brush. If you miss some, you can go back with just the tip and pick that up. And then you can go back and fill it in. I like to make the center of the flower a little bit darker, so I'm going to add the dark and then blend it out toward the outside of the flower. Just keep going with the tip now until I get all those white spots filled in on the watercolor paper. On the edge there. Okay, now I'm going to go to the next flower, and you can move fairly quickly on this. You just have to be careful when you get down toward the bottom, because then you're going to run into where the leaves and the stems are. So again, I'm just going over the edges of the raised embossed part with the edge of the aqua painter filled with primrose ink. I'm going to go back and make the center darker and then blend it out toward the end of the petals. Just keep going until you get all those little petals filled in with ink. There we go. I'm going to have to add a little bit more reinker to my lid. Maybe a couple drops. Go back in with the edge of the brush and make that center dark. And just go along the raised edges, the side of my brush. Okay. Now this flower, I'm going to slow down a little bit, because this is where you start getting into excuse me, the stem and the leaves. This petal is a little bit tricky because there's a stem that runs right down the middle of that flower, and I don't want that to be pink. Again, working from the center out. Now, everywhere you touch with this aqua painter and reinker, it's going to take on ink. Fill that in nice. And a few white spots are alright. Adds a little highlighting. Okay, now I'm going to go down here and do this very last flower. Make this really dark. Go along the edge. Just keep picking ink up as you go. I'm not squeezing here at all. I'm just, the end of the brush is wet. And it's got the reinker in it. There's really not a huge need to add water by squeezing the tube. Okay, I'm going to just go back in and fill it out. Fill it all in. There. I'm going to go back up here and add a little dark to this center. Then make this one a little bit darker too. Yeah, just down there at the base. Back over a few of those veins. Okay, now I can switch. I just have a rag here and I'm just squeezing it now and cleaning it off on the rag. I'm going to switch to Gumball Green. And this I like to use just the very tip. And I'm just going to pick that up and I'm going to go right down that groove there of that leaf. Or, I'm sorry, not the leaf, the stem. There's two of them there. And there's a stem right there. And then here's a leaf over here. I'll fill that in. Bring that up around, go over the edge of this leaf, pull that in. One more leaf and one more stem. Kind of going back to the edge of my brush just to get that raised area a little bit darker. Back in and fill in the leaf, the recessed part. And there you have it. You can either leave it this way, or if you'd like to add a little depth, I like to use the Primrose Petals marker, the brush end, and the spritzing tool. I'm just gonna put that in there like that, and then very lightly squeeze that bulb, and that adds dimension. Get a little bit of depth with that. Looks like I'm adding a lot, but I'm not squeezing very hard. And then at this point you could add any greeting you wanted to up here on the side. That set that I showed you at the beginning of the video is it can be an all occasions set that I'll probably give away as a gift. It's just a piece of 8.5 by 11 Primrose Petals cardstock that I've cut in half and scored. I'm going to use one more final touch to this top piece. I've mixed up some champagne shimmer paint with alcohol to create shimmer mist. And you're just going to give that a good shake and spray the top of your card. Get that really pretty shimmer on there. Now, anything that I emboss, anything that I put through the Big Shot, I like to use the liquid Tombow on. I think it holds better. Normally I would let this dry. And right here up in these leaves I would suggest you put some Tombow in there too, because that gets a little bit weak. Okay. I'm just going to apply this to the front of my card. You could also add a ribbon or a bow or pearls. And I'm just going to take my bone folder and make sure that it's down good. And in this place too. Now when this dries, you're going to have some dimension because it's not, with this embossing folder, it stays raised a little bit, and especially once you've had the paper wet. So, there we have it. Here again are some other ones I've made. This one I just added the little greeting that says, sometimes you just need to know that someone really cares. That someone is me, and then I stamped the poppy stamp at the bottom and added a few butterflies. Here's one in Wisteria Wonder. On this one I added, I did this on Midnight Muse, and then to the inside I added a piece of very vanilla cardstock with a flower that I had done the same technique with, and I just cut it out. So there's the set, and I hope you learned something. And I hope you'll give it a try. Thanks for watching and have a great day.